Hi guys, this is Reese, and this is the first time you hear me speak in this channel, because like most of my videos are like music stuff, so hey. But this video is going to be about my studio and like how I set everything out. I'm going to do two videos, one being this and another one being how I actually make my videos. So if you want that, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. So, you know, all the usual YouTube stuff. Right, so first thing is my plug. It might not seem interesting, right? But this plug is awesome. I have a smart strip that connects to all of my studio. So essentially I can use automation to make it more efficient because my studio is now becoming my job and my career. So I want to make it as efficient as I can to get the most out of it. So this power strip powers, firstly, my keyboards. These keyboards, I have got two of them at the minute, well, three, but the third one's not really good. It's in my wardrobe, so it's just, yeah. All three of these are Yamahas. The top one is a Yamaha Portatone, which was the second keyboard that I got, and this guy I've been using like a lot. And it's been my main keyboard for like 4 to 5 years now. This keyboard I use for synths and like other things like that. Anything that's not like piano-y or actually piano type or organ type, you know, I can just use this because it's got lots of presets in it. Lots of presets. It's even got drums and that, and it's awesome. Below it, I've got the Yamaha P45, which it's got weighted keys, so it's more adapted to play more piano-y style of music. I love it. It's an absolute beast. I've mainly bought it for my BTEC because I've been playing more piano with stuff rather than you playing keyboardy stuff. So I just got that. It's like a little upgrade, a little present for myself. It's quite cool. I love it. And then these two keyboards are held on a dual keyboard stand that I got for Christmas. I just got this little like attachment that like adapts onto my already very old keyboard stand. So that then hooks up onto my Portatone. So that's the deal with that. Next in line is my pedals. These pedals I use for mainly playing with, just jam around with my guitars, because mostly I use effects in my DAW, which is Ableton, which is around there. So I normally use Guitar Rig to do that, but these pedals I use sometimes. The only pedal that I've used to like print out stuff is my wah pedal, and I also use the tuner pedal to like tune up stuff as well. I actually use the looper built into that tuner pedal to like play around with ideas and see if they work together. At the minute I've got a wah pedal, a fuzz pedal, a multi-effects pedal, a tuner/loop pedal, and a distortion pedal. But the most important pedal that I've got is the page turner. When you see the video that might go up sometime in June, July time, because I've got exams now, so hey. I use this pedal for my bass instruments, because when I'm writing out my parts, I use Sibelius to write out my parts and then export that into a PDF, and that PDF goes onto my iPad, and then that pedal then goes into my iPad by Bluetooth, so then I can flip pages in books. Because I use Apple Books to view my music, I have to switch pages because obviously I can't reach out and then that would just be a take on. And then the next thing is my posters. Actually, I forgot to mention about these. These posters I use to just make it a bit more lively. They also act as acoustic treatment as well, because I think acoustic foam looks a bit weird and a bit like, you know. But these also have the purpose of dampening down reflections. I've got a cream one, you know. This one just looks cool. It's like a guitar, like a stick in it. It's pretty cool. The next one I've got is a George Ezra one. One of my mates from school made me that. I love it. It's really cool. Gives up the vibe to the place. You know, it's not all just professional. Next to that is my whiteboard. My whiteboard I absolutely love. This whiteboard I use for a lot of things. The first thing is to like write down notes for panning. So like say if I want to like map out where I want everything panned, I can do that. If I've got anything jobs to do, I put on there. If I've got any notes for later on, like if I'm doing tracking session and then the artist or whoever's doing it thinks of an idea. If I can't do it now, I'll do it. I put it on there and I'll make a note for it. And then also in the bottom right, everyone who's been in my studio, I always ask them to sign it. And because music is so collaborative, it shows that like how well I love to just collaborate with people. And that's what I like about doing this, is that like you can share ideas, you can bounce off each other's energy. I love it. It's awesome. Next thing is a poster for Battle of the Bands, which is on the left of that. That is a contest that I did with my school band, School of Rock, and I played drums in it. That's quite cool. We came second, so that was pretty cool. And the last one was the first ever diamond painting that I got in this room actually, which was the Hope, Believe, Love, which is like an awesome quote. And these 3 words speak volumes, literally speak volumes. Not a reference like, but yeah, when I'm mixing in that and just look at that, I'm thinking, it's a dream come true, you know, absolute dream, because I love doing this, I love doing what I do, it's awesome. So, on to the next bit of music equipment, which is my amp. This is a Harley Benton amp, 20 watts, my first ever amp actually, but I'm planning on getting another amp, which might be like a Fender or a nice Marshall, you know, but that's all come to the future after exams. So now we get into the main feature, my desk. In my desk, I first have my little networked station down at the bottom, which is like a second network to the one network that I've got downstairs, which got like my router and my switches and all that downstairs. But this is essentially consists of just a switch and my render laptop. My render laptop is essentially just a laptop that runs Linux, that I use as like a secondary machine. So like say if I need to offload a job to it because I'm meant to do 2 things at once, I can do that. That's good. And then that's hooked up to that switch, a 5-port switch. That hooks up to the Wi-Fi, which is in through an Ethernet cable that runs all the way in the floor and then all the way around the door and then downstairs, and yeah, it's a massive cable. What's up downstairs to here. And then this runs into my laptop, my main laptop, my baby, which is the Acer Aspire 5. I have specs up on screen, and this beast is awesome. I can do anything with it. It struggles a bit on like massive projects, but it's been doing me really good. And this then goes to my interface. This is a M-Audio M-Track Duo. It's got 2 XLR ports in it, which are like combo jacks. So you've got XLR and 1/4 inch for both instrument and DI and line. My interface then goes into my speakers, and then these speakers are PreSonus Aries 3.5s. These really packed on punch for the size, and these might get upgraded during college because I'm doing audio production in college. Next on my desk is a Magic Eagle keyboard and a Magic Eagle mouse. These are absolutely awesome. They're massive for my desk, but they serve a purpose. They're RGB. They are absolutely awesome. The mouse has got macros on the side of it, so I use this to like navigate through web browsers. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome. It saves a lot of time when I'm trying to look up stuff. The next piece of gear that I sometimes use is my launch pad. This launch pad I mainly use for live stuff, because with School of Rock I'm also in charge of doing patches for the keyboards. And for keyboards I use this guy as a switcher, so to switch between patches, which is easy, fast, and you can switch between whatever you want. The last little bits on the desk are my hard drive. My hard drive is plugged into a docking station, which can hold 3.5 inch drives and 2.5 inch drives. This I use to test out drives if I'm doing any work for like fixing laptops or other things like that. And then I also use it to archive things. I use it to archive stuff that I've done for clients, stuff that I've done for myself, and stuff that I need to get archived from other drives to then use that back on the other drive. This This dock also has a bunch of audio on it, which is like, it's got 2 USB 3 ports, a mini SD card slot, and an SD card slot. These I don't really use that much. I only really use them if we need to charge phones, because artists use their phones for the lyrics, they normally use that to charge from. The drive that I'm using is a Seagate 1TB drive, it's awesome, absolutely love it. It's nearly getting full now, but again, during college I might upgrade to a nice system. So I've got like RAID arrays and I've got redundancy, which is awesome, and I've got more storage as well, so I can get more things in it. And the last piece to my desk, which is important but not, well it is, because I use it to get media in and out of my whole studio. Which at first I use a SanDisk USB-C carrier adapter which uses UHS 2, because my new carrier R10 uses UHS 2, which means I can get high speeds into my laptop. It's not very common now for computers to have SD card slots. It's absolutely awesome because phones and iPads now use USB-C, so it'll be awesome in the future if ever I need to transfer things over to iPads or phones without having to get adapters or having to use other SD card readers. And the final piece is a USB-C disk drive. This I use to give out DVDs and CDs because some people do actually want CDs and DVDs. On the side of my studio I've got my other instruments, which first start with the main game, which is my euphonium and my trombone. These guys are absolute beasts. I've gone through 2 euphoniums and 1 trombone so far. The first euphonium was a Sovereign, but then had to get traded in for a different euphonium. And then my trombone is my main beast that I'm using now at the minute, because I've switched from playing euphonium in band to playing trombone in band. The next piece of the studio is my drum kit. My drum kit is a tabletop drum kit, which because of the tight space I can't do much with it. Next is my drawers. These drawers I use to hold all sorts of stuff. In the first drawer is just full of like XLR cables, spare strings, stereo bars, just everything that I just might need in a pinch to just fix stuff. The next drawer is full of all my percussion. So like my tambourine, my shakers, my maracas, my cowbell, all go in this drawer. So then I'm not having to like try and find a place to put all of them and might get lost or whatever. Just in a nice place I can just access them quickly if I need to add any parts to anything. And then the bottom drawer I don't really use because it's blocked by my pedals, which are on like a makeshift DIY like board, something like angles, because I hate pedals being flat. Onto the next bit is my strings section, which is like my 2 ukuleles, my electric guitar, my bass guitar, and my acoustic guitar. They're all on stands, so they look awesome. And if you've got your studio of yourselves, or if you've actually a musician yourself, it's really handy. Like if you don't put your instrument in a case and put it on a stand, you're more likely to actually play it because you're not having to like get up and think. My 2 ukuleles are both sopranos. The first one is a concert soprano, and the second one is just a fun one. It's what I got from a shop in Great Yarmouth because I saw it and it looked interesting, and it's to show my love for the Beatles. My other guitar is by Harley Benton. I'm not sure of the model number myself. It's by Harley Benton. It's a really nice Strat, and it plays really well. Awesome tone. And yeah, it's an absolute beast. My next instrument is a Glary bass, which I'm not sure of the model myself either. But it's absolutely awesome, plays really well. It's got a few dents in it and a few scratches, but that's because I've been playing it a lot recently, because I absolutely love playing bass. I really like playing bass melodically, because it opens up another dimension to playing. And you can play so much more, and you can get some more fun out of it as well. My last instrument is a acoustic guitar. I'm not even sure who it's by, but all I know is I got it when I was in year 6, but it's going really well. The first one is an Hufflepuff poster, which I have because I absolutely love Harry Potter. Next one in line is an apple. It's a glass apple that looks into a very nice sunset. When I saw it, I went, wow, that's awesome. It's really inspirational, and it shows that the world is endless. I love it. And my last dime painting is Music is My Life, which it is. It's been my whole life since I've been like 4 or 5 years old. I absolutely love it. And music has now driven my life into so many things now. I've gone into my own career now, I'm doing YouTube because of music. I've been around the UK lots of times because of the music. Absolutely love it. I've also learned lots of skills, lots of life skills, and a hell of a lot of things through music. So if music wasn't a thing for me and I didn't find it, I would have been something different, much more different than what I am now. On from that, I've got my trombone stand, which I just leave there because I'm not got any more space to put anything. Because the studio is quite small, so I'm limited on space for some things. The next bit is my wardrobe. This wardrobe I just use for storage, and we have like boxes or things that I don't use. This then transitions into my other like accessories. I've got my bongos, which will get used in a video next, which is going to be fun. I then have my trombone mutes. The trombone mutes I've used once or twice, I think, in videos. The first time I used it was my cup mute for Pompeii, for like a different tone, which is absolutely awesome. So at the minute I've got all Dennis Wick mutes, which consists of like a cup mute, a straight mute and a hammer mute. They all use different tones and they use it in different scenarios. The last little bit of my studio is my little bench, if we could call it a bench, just little frame. On that I've just got my bin, which is Newcastle United, because why not? I've also got some spare sticks of RAM, which are actually DDR3, which is actually for my other laptop. But I use it just in case if I need to do upgrades on another person's laptop, if their RAM's not working or if they need more RAM or whatever. And the last bit is my mirror. My mirror I just use for practicing, because if you're playing trombone or if you're playing guitar, you don't want to be just looking down like that. It's a lot better if you look forward, and then your muscle memory will be the best thing for you. So yeah, that's my studio. So I'm going to have a break from YouTube for about a month because of my exams, my GCSEs. So I will be back after them. You'll hopefully get a video of like how I make my videos, and if you've got any recommendations of songs you want me to do, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll show you guys later.